state was not appreciated, particularly since the University of Florida kicked our rears in the bowl game this year. George Denver, remember, was a University of Florida grad, so it's been a tough year living with them. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to be here. It was a great night last night. We got a chance to see some little differences between the candidates. And, folks are saying, well, we shouldn't have these disputes on the debates. I disagree. These debates are about trying to find out who has the mettle to be able to go up against the Barack Obama and national media machine that is going to take them apart piece by piece and be able to stand up, fight back, and deliver the principles that our conservative parties believe in. That's what this race is about, is finding that right person who can stand up, and when times are tough, and when the heat is on, deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm running for president is because I think I've been that candidate over the course of my career who has stood up, taken the heat in a tough state, and been able to win elections. When I was first elected in 1990, I ran in a 60% Democratic district against a 14-year Democratic incumbent who was given absolutely no chance to win the race. In fact, the head of the congressional committee wouldn't even meet with me because he said I had no point in meeting because I had no chance to win. I sort of felt that way a few months ago when I was in this race. But you know what? I believe that someone had to go out and fight for the principles that made this country the greatest country in the history of the world. Right now, and so I went out undeterred. Karen and I, my wife and I, we just got married that year. We went out and knocked on 20,000 doors, and we had some debates. And within those debates, well, let's just say that the local press reporter, the Pittsburgh Press, which no longer exists, the reporter said, you picked him up, you threw him down, you stomped all over him, you spit on him for good measure. We were able to turn that race around, and in 2 weeks' time, we went from single-digit recognition to winning that race. Because I was able to stand up and articulate the vision, the conservative vision for this country, and mobilize people to go out and win an election in a 60% Democratic district in a bad election in 1990. And then I went down to Washington, D.C. and did something that those of you who have not followed my career got to remember. I haven't just stood up and fought for conservative principles. I stood up and fought against corruption. I stood up and fought against the insular politics of Washington, D.C., and I won. I worked with John Boehner in a group called the Gang of Seven, and we found corruption with members of Congress actually having interest-free loans at the House Bank. It had been going on for decades, had been reported for decades. No one decided they wanted to do anything. I did. When John Boehner went up there, we exposed it. Members of our own party were threatening me. Both parties were coming after, you can't do this, you're going to ruin our political careers. You know what we did? And Republicans lost seats, Democrats lost seats, and I went after the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, the most powerful man in the Congress at the time, a guy by the name of Dan Rostenkowski, and he went to jail because we stood up and fought for the right principles. So that's the thing. Some people say, well, trust me because I'll fight. Fighting is great. Winning is better. Right? I fight and I win. And I got reelected. How did I get reelected? They took my district. We lost 2 seats, probably to Florida, in the 1992 redistricting. Hope you enjoyed them. Well, one of them was mine. And they put me in with a 24-year Democratic incumbent, gave me absolutely no chance to win in a 72% Democratic district. 2/3 of it was brand new district to me. Election day came around, George Bush was running for re-election in 1992, got 29% in my district, I got 61 and was re-elected by the largest margin anyone had ever seen. Why? Because I stood up for what I believed in, and I worked hard to make sure that the people that I represented, I was accountable to. I then ran for the United States Senate, and while I was running, I did something. I was on the Ways and Means Committee, and I drafted a bill called welfare reform. And it became part of the contract with America. And I ran for the United States Senate against an incumbent whose campaign was managed by James Carville and Paul McGowan. You want to talk about going up against the best the Democrats have to offer? I did it in a state with 1 million more registered Democrats and Republicans who hasn't voted for a president since 1988. And I took them on what was the issue? Hillary Care. Because the man who I ran against was the author in the Senate of Hillary Care. You want someone who's won a national type election on the issue of health care in a swing state that we need to win the presidency against the best the Democrats have to offer? You're looking at a guy who did it and did it in style and who won. I didn't go to Washington, D.C. and become someone who just thought, well, I better play it safe and get reelected. I took the lead on welfare reform. Ended a federal entitlement, something that we're going to have to do a little bit in this after this election. I did it. We need to do it again with food stamps. We need to do it with housing programs, education programs, Medicaid, all of those things. I did it. I fought the fight, and we were able to go out to the American public. Bill Clinton vetoed that bill twice, but why did he eventually sign it? Not because he wanted to, but because I was on the floor battling Ted Kennedy and Daniel Patrick Moynihan and talking to the American public, and the public got behind us for the vision that we laid out, and he was forced to sign it. I win election victories, and I win victories on the floor of the Senate and will as president, because I'm able to go to the American public and get them behind us. The beauty of Reagan was not his great policies. It was his great ability to get those policies, the American people behind those policies and get them passed. And that's what we need in a leader in this country, and that's what I delivered. Not just the welfare reform, but also moral cultural issues. There's nobody in this race who has a record of standing up for life like I did. Parson Worthy versus Van Act, I did. Our bill. You know what? We kept coming back, even after the Supreme Court struck it down. And this is another important difference between me and everybody else in this race. I don't take the idea that the Supreme Court or the courts are somehow a superior branch of the government. They are not. And I'm the only one in this race that actually has done something to show that I won't just answer the question, what are you going to do about judges? Well, I'll support, judges like Scalia and Thomas Alito. Yeah, I'll do it. It's not enough, folks. Because the next president, the Democrats, are going to put folks like Ginsburg and Breyer back on the bench. No. We have to break the mold. And I did. They struck down the partial vote abortion bill. You know what I said when George Bush got into office? I went over to Charles Kennedy, a great Floridian. The two of us were able to work together. Guess what we did? We drafted a bill that said the Supreme Court ruled wrong. You're wrong. It is constitutional what we passed. And we wrote a bill with the first two sections, almost a legal brief, telling the Supreme Court why they were wrong and saying, we have as much say as to what is constitutional in this country as you do, and we're going to stand up for the Constitution interpreted the right way. The Supreme Court flipped their decision and said it was constitutional. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people up there who said they're going to check the boxes and they pledge to do this and this and this. But there's somebody in this race who hasn't just taken a pledge, he's taken the bullets for the conservative cause. I've fought on moral cultural issues, I've fought on national security issues. We had this debate last night and we're seeing it with more and more Republicans getting easier and easier about America's role in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are not the preeminent power in this world, if we are not setting the agenda, if we are not the strong force in the world, someone else will be. It is not sufficient to say we'll just erect walls, and I'm for a border fence, unlike some in this race. It's not sufficient to say we'll just erect walls and withdraw and everyone will leave us alone. When have we ever seen that be the case? Ladies and gentlemen, there are people out there who hate us, not because of what we do, they hate us because of who we are. They hate us because we stand for things that they find antithetical to their moral point of view. And it's not just the radical Islamists. We know here in Florida, it's the South America. It's those socialists who are now teaming with the radical Islamists and creating training camps in Central and South America. Not because they like us, not because of what we have done to their countries. It's because they want us off the beat, because they want to dominate the world. They want to spread their venom throughout the world and have it land on our shore. If we do not have a lethal Reagan-esque policy of fighting these folks where they are instead of waiting for them to come to our shores, ladies and gentlemen, we will be the generation that not only lost this country because of our debt, because of our freedom being taken away by big government and control, but we will be the country that will have allowed the world to sink into despair, and we will be an island and we will not be an island that will all survive. That is our charge, to renew America from within and to stand strong for the principles that made America the greatest country in the history of the world and spread those principles throughout the world. We have something to be proud of, not apologize for, and what America is. I want to finally come to this. This is the most important election in your lifetime, and I don't care how old you are. This election is about whether America, its very essence, will continue. Whether it will be free, safe, and prosperous. If Obamacare is implemented and this liberal program is implemented with the re-election of Barack Obama, we will be the generation that will not only lose America's preeminence in the world, but we will lose the very freedoms that our founders fought for and died for 235 years. That is why it's incumbent upon each and every one of you here in Florida, the game-changing state that you are, to get involved and to back a candidate who has proven that they will stand tall and be authentic and stand for what not they just believe in it and do it in their own personal life, but has the track record of showing that they can do it and will do it in spite of all the odds, in spite of all the buffets that will come against them. Will do it when things get tough and stand for what you believe in. I've done it. No one else in the panel that was there last night has done what I have done and can win a state. No one else has won a swing state up in that panel. No one else has defeated a Democratic incumbent up in that panel. I've done it, and I've stood tall for the conservative principles. I didn't change one policy when I decided to run for president. I didn't change my party when things got tough in Pennsylvania. I stood for what I